it's your Classic Metal Show right here on the ClassicMetalShow.com. That is the Ozman himself with the zombie stomp.
Yeah.
And Ozzy, what is Ozzy doing these days? Is he still recovering? Do you think he'll ever go back out on the road? Do you think he'll ever be healthy enough to actually perform again?
I think they'll do like one farewell show at some point. Maybe. If we ever get back to doing any shows. He may be dead by the time they fucking can do a I mean, dude, some of the reports say that he's in terrible health and that he's really sick. So who knows?
I haven't seen or really heard anything about Ozzy lately. So when did you hear that or see that, or where did you read that?
That was like about a month ago or so. There was something on one of the sites, Blabber or Brave Words or something, that just somebody said that they had talked to Ozzy and that he was in really bad shape. And, you know, I've seen various reports that he didn't think he was going to live last year, but somehow he lived through it. And I don't know, dude, it's hard to tell. That in the Sharon Osbourne camp, he might be fine, but they're just spinning that since he can't be on the road anyway, so that he can make a miraculous comeback show for all we know.
Oh yeah, because of course they're all about the media and the hype and trying to stay relevant and staying in the eye of the fans.
Right.
You know. Well, speaking of that, you know, as far as quote unquote rock stars who are ailing, what is your thoughts on the talk about Eddie Van Halen for the last year or so?
You know what? I think there's probably some truth to it. I mean, there's no reason for a guy like Roth to kind of cut his own throat by saying that Eddie's pretty sick and may never tour again. That makes me think there probably is some sort of substance to that. You know, I mean, because otherwise it wouldn't make sense. What would make sense for him to say is, you know, Ed's just not in the mood to tour or record or whatever. But, you know, he finally got himself back into the good graces where he could make the big checks.
True.
And now he's out there saying, well, Ed's fucked up and is going to die, but you can come see me opening for Kiss.
Yeah.
And doing EDM shows and shit like that. You know,
well, here's you know, here's a reality check for you.
Okay.
Do you realize it's been, and I hate to even say this, but it's been 13 years since Roth rejoined Van Halen for the first time?
Jeez, oh man.
13 years. It was 2007.
It's almost a career's worth.
Yeah. Well, actually, it's been longer for the reunion than it was for the original lineup.
Yeah. Yeah. The only difference is the complete lack of output.
Well, that and
anything of some
bass. What Michael Anthony,
bass player?
Yeah. No Michael Anthony.
Yeah, without Michael Anthony, it's like, why? You know, I get it. Wolfie's got some talent, but he's not Michael Anthony. He's not
Michael Anthony.
He's not Van Halen. He's a kid from Van Halen. He's a Van Halen in name only. And I'm not even shitting on the kid. I'm sure he's immensely talented. But Van Halen is those four guys. You know, they're all alive. They're all still playing music. They should do it together or stop calling it Van Halen.
Yeah. Well, what about, I know being that you're a huge Hager fan.
Yeah.
What is your thoughts on Sammy always seemingly trying to, get back into the good graces of the Van Halen brothers?
Dude, I for the life of me can't figure it out. For the life of me, I can't figure it out. He gets more shit from Van Halen fans.
Yes.
He's got more money than any of the Van Halens.
True.
I don't understand why he needs it so bad. Unless it's the one thing that he's ever been criticized for and he just hates that.
Maybe.
That's the only thing I can think of with Sammy, because he doesn't need it.
No, I agree.
He really doesn't need it. And I saw him, a year ago or so, however long ago that was. And it was him and Michael Anthony, the Circle, and they killed. I mean, they kicked ass doing Circle songs and doing Van Halen songs. And they sounded every bit as good as Van Halen with him in the band. Vic Johnson's not exactly Eddie Van Halen, but you know, it was good enough. Good enough. There's my pun. But but it was way better than, I don't want to say it's way better, but it wouldn't be that much better if he was back with Van Halen.
Right.
That's what I'm saying is,
Yeah.
if him and Michael rejoined Van Halen, it wouldn't be that much more incredible with the Van Halen brothers than it is watching him do it with the Circle. And to be honest, I'd rather see him do it with the Circle, where I can hear the Montrose songs and the Sammy solo songs. That's me personally.
Well, it's sort of the same attitude that you and I have of seeing Stephen Pearcy's solo.
Yeah. Yeah, I like those songs. I'd much rather see Pearcy solo these days than solo, but with Juan prancing around.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, it's like he has with Steven, it's like he has two solo bands.
Yeah.
Honestly, I can't love Steven, but I cannot put my head around calling him, Juan, and those other three guys Rat any more than I could do Blotzer and four other guys and call that Rat.
Right.
It's not Rat in my head. It's just not.
Yeah.
You know,
well, it's the Rat music.
Yeah.
That's
I don't care. I don't care how much Geico spins it as Rat. It's not. I watched that commercial. I'm like, who are those guys with Steven?
Yeah. I have to laugh about that Geico commercial because, you know, you and I know people in the business, and
sure
that thing, you know, Steven and his version of Rat has made bank on that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was a big score for those guys, especially in this advanced stage in their career.
Right.
You know,
I think it is for all of those guys, dude. Remember the googly eyed one with Eddie Money?
Yeah.
I think he made a bunch of money off of that.
He made a bunch of Eddie money.
Yeah, he made a bunch of Eddie money.
And he can take it to the grave with him.
Yeah. Well, he maybe donated it to his fat daughter to get her life in order. Remember that interview? What a train wreck.
That is one of the all-timers.
That's definitely one of the funniest segments we've ever had.
It is. I mean, because it was so spot on. I've listened to that a million times, and a certain person whom we will not speak her name.
Yeah.
She liked that. She listened to that all the time too.
The funny thing is, I remember when I brought it to the table, and I brought that one to the table, and you were kind of like, Eddie Money, what are we talking about here? And I was like, dude, you got to watch this video. And we did it you had not watched even a second of it. And we did it, and it was just like, what the hell? And it doesn't start off really fast either. It starts off with Eddie kind of playing the game a little bit, where he's like sort of nice with this little girl.
Yeah, I like that tie. You know, I like that polka dot tie. You know, I like ties too. You know, I have ties.
It started off soft to where you start getting to think that it's going to be like, what is this? And probably wondering what the fuck I was bringing to the table. And then all of a sudden he starts talking about, yeah, well, my daughter, she got in trouble. She's a drunk. She's fat.
Yeah. She needs to hit the gym. She makes a lot of bad decisions. She's off again with her boyfriend. She moves in, she moves out. She's kind of a tramp.
Yeah. I mean, he just was like, and here's this fucking 10-year-old girl or whatever, just being like, okay, terrific.
Well, if you don't know what Chris and I are talking about and you've never heard it, just go look that up on YouTube, or I guess probably the best place would be YouTube. Yeah,
just look up Classic Metal Show Eddie Money. There's like 3 or 4 segments of Eddie Money of us covering Eddie Money, and they're all pretty good actually.
Yeah, but the interview, he was being interviewed by a kid.
Yeah. Well, we actually have 2 Eddie Money kid videos, because we have the other one was the Eddie Money singing the AC/DC song, and then we compared it to the 4-year-old singing the AC/DC.
True.
And the 4-year-old was better.
Yeah.
But rest in peace, Ed.
Yeah. Well, Eddie went down quick.
Yeah, he did. He was
especially, you know, you had the opportunity to interview him.
I did.
not long before he passed away.
Mm-hmm.
That story you tell about the publicist telling you that he's out running and
Oh, that he's
jogging
a
in the
jogger.
morning, and you call him and he's like, oh,
Yeah, dude, it was so stupid. It was the publicist told me is like, because the publicist set the interview for like 9 a.m. LA time. And I even asked the publicist, I was like, are you serious? Eddie Money, 9 a.m.? That can't be right. And she was like, no, he gets up early. He's a jogger. He jogs. Like, okay, cool. So I called at the right time and Ed was like, hello. And I was like, Eddie, and he's like, yeah. I'm like, hey, it's Chris from, I think that might have been Scene or Music Bottom Line. I don't remember when it was from, but and he was like, and he was like, call me back later. So I like called him back later and he's like, who scheduled this? And I told him, he's like, and I told him, I said that they told me you're a jogger. And he's like, dude, I only jog from here to my kitchen to get a cup of coffee and a cigarette. I'm not jogging. You're fucking crazy. It's like, okay, man. He was a trip. But yeah, not a jogger. And now definitely not a jogger. So interesting to say the least. Sometimes these publicists make up some shit in their own mind, I guess.
yeah, I guess trying to promote a good image or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking. I mean, what, after 30 years, I don't know what Eddie Money is? Jesus.
Well, who doesn't want to take someone home tonight?
Yeah. Yeah, I said that to the 10-year-old or whatever.
Yeah. So
who doesn't want to get some pussy? Jesus.
Right, of course.
Jesus Christ, Ed. That's a great one. Too funny.
Well, go look it up.
Yep.
All right. Well, as I'm sure you're well aware, as is everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, if you live in this country, especially, you can't get away from this. Somehow, we're almost 200 years past slavery in this country.
We are? Wow.
Well,
I thought it was still going on the way I hear about it every goddamn day.
Yeah, exactly. Well, anyway, all we hear because of this, because of the election coming up, and of course Trump is a racist, and Black Lives Matter, and
Sure.
The black man is oppressed. And now I'm sure you may have heard, because I know you don't watch much news these days, but the excuse for the rioting and the smashing in the stores and things out on one of the most prominent streets in Chicago, Michigan Avenue, which is where the high-end shopping area is,
right,
where the Louis Vuitton stores are, and all the high-end merch.
Sure.
Well, these stores have been smashed and looted,
right,
over the last couple of months.
Right.
And this current mayor of Chicago, this Lori Blackfoot, she seems to be amenable to these looters.
She's like, go ahead, it's good. It's good for the city.
Well, here's the overwhelming excuse for doing this.
Okay.
The reason why this is perfectly okay to do this is because this is just a form of reparation.
What, breaking shit?
No, stealing stuff.
Oh, that's all it is? Does it count?
Well, apparently it does, but I don't know who's keeping track of the merchandise that's being stolen and how it got distributed evenly.
I'd like
reparations.
If you want to count it as reparations, that's fine, but let's keep a running total here. Because at some point we've got to say, okay, that's enough.
Exactly. Well, anyway, in light of all of that,
okay,
and keeping the black man down and all this racist stuff, it just never ends.
Nope.
So over there in Ohio, where you're at,
okay,
a a private school, an Ohio private school, they force out black children with dreadlocks, the parents say.
Force them out of the private school?
They force them out of the private school.
I can't wait to hear this.
Now let me read this to you, and you'll see right through this immediately. This happened in Cincinnati.
Okay.
A few days ago, young Aston Johnson, Asten, learned his school didn't want him back, at least the way he is now.
Okay.
The 6-year-old has dreadlocks. When his hair is wet and he pulls on it, it comes down about his eyes.
Okay.
His parents, Christina and Nate Johnson, here's the catchphrase here, and you'll see right through this.
Okay.
His parents, Christina and Nate Johnson, wear the same natural style.
Natural style.
Natural style dreadlocks, yeah.
I wish that was true. My hair would look a lot better if it would go naturally into dreads.
Well, yeah. Natural style. Their hair is much longer, extending in black and brown coils down their back.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Aston looks in the mirror every single day and tells me how long his hair has grown, Christina Johnson said.
Okay.
He wants his hair to grow fast. He wants to look like his parents.
Okay.
Officials at his school want the opposite. Zion Temple Christian Academy in Cincinnati told Johnson's that locks, quote unquote, a natural hairstyle for black people are not allowed at the school, Christina said, even though Aston has enrolled and wore the style last year.
Do they understand what natural means?
Well, that's the whole thing. They keep throwing that in as if long dreadlocks is a natural style.
But dreadlocks are not a natural anything.
I agree. And that's why this story is a bunch of horse shit.
Yeah. I mean, I get it that a lot of black dudes do dreadlocks, and I don't necessarily understand why it's a problem, but it's not a natural. The excuse they're using is terrible. If they had a dress code or a code that if you're going to be in the school that you keep your hair
a certain length,
2 inches or 3 inches or whatever the fuck, that's one thing.
Well, we're getting there because that's where we're going here.
Okay.
Officials at the school want the opposite. Zion Temple Christian Academy in Cincinnati told Johnson's that locks, a natural hairstyle for black people. See, they keep reiterating this like they're trying to make them change who they are.
Yeah.
Are not allowed in the school, Christina said, even though Aston was enrolled with and wore the style last year. The family planned to enroll Aston's younger brother, 3-year-old Arison, in the school this year, but Ari, A-R-R-I, also has locks.
Okay.
Their parents had to decide either comply with the school order or look elsewhere, so they chose the latter.
Okay.
That's anywhere you go.
Yeah, fair enough.
Whether it's the school or whether it's a store or whether it's anywhere, if you are entering or attending a institution, whether it's a store or whether it's a school or whether it's any kind of an organization, and they have certain rules that you need to abide by, you have the choice of either you abide by the rules and come on in, or you don't and you won't.
Yeah, you stay home or go somewhere else.
What's disheartening about Zion Temple is it's in the middle of a black community and it's predominantly a black school.
So?
Christina Johnson said, how can you not accept your own people?
Stop it. Jesus.
See, we're making something out of nothing here.
Oh, of course.
The school officials did not return multiple requests for comment. An amendment to Cincinnati's anti-bias law approved last year by the city council bans discrimination based on quote unquote natural hair.
Mm-hmm.
But the law exempts religious groups.
Okay. Well, boy, there's a million ways you can look at this story.
Uh-huh.
First and foremost, dreads are not natural. Learn the definition of natural. Natural would mean if you never touch the shit, that's what it would turn up as.
Yeah. So if your hair grows out black in color,
yeah,
and it's curly on its own,
fine.
That's natural.
Yeah. See this mop that I got going on here? That is natural because it has not been cut in 8 years.
Yeah.
There's not been a pair of scissors that have hit this mop.
Could you cut it?
I could.
Could you leave it short?
I could.
You used to.
I did. I used to keep it shaved off.
Yeah, you used to keep it like almost like a crew cut.
Yeah. But now it's not. Now it's natural. Then it wasn't natural. That's my other point. Everybody else in the school is not keeping a natural haircut unless their hair is like this. Because if you're cutting the hair, then it's not natural either. None of it's natural. They should have a bunch of cavemen going to this fucking school.
Right.
Everybody's hair should be down to their ass. Because if it's been cut, then it's not natural. So the school's wrong. They're wrong. The family's wrong. Everybody's wrong in this one. Throw it out of court. Tell the kid to fucking, just let the kid in. Let's be honest. I don't know how you feel about this. I don't have any problem with a kid having dreadlocks like this.
Well,
he's wearing a tie. He's wearing a nice shirt. It's not like he's doing the baggy pants down to his fucking kneecaps thing.
Well, if you wore your baggy pants down to your kneecaps, are you wearing your pants natural?
Who knows? Apparently, in this logic, it would be. But you know what? There's nothing wrong with the way this kid looks. So let
me ask you another question.
All right.
You served in the military.
I did.
Could you be in the military with your hair natural the way you call it now?
No, but I made a choice to go to the military.
So they made a choice to go to that school.
Yeah, but he has to go to some school.
Yeah, but he doesn't have to go to that school.
Well, I agree.
It's a private school.
I agree, but I don't agree with the policy is what I'm saying.
Well, regardless of that, it's not a public school.
No, you're right. It's
now,
not.
If a public school had that same policy, it might even be a bigger problem, but this is a private school.
Yeah, and they can do whatever the fuck they want, really.
And you could choose to go there or not go there.
Yeah. And this will probably get thrown out of court unless they show up in a Black Lives Matter t-shirt.
Well, that's the whole thing. This is not a public school issue. This is a private school issue that says we don't want the boys who come here. They need to have their hair at a certain length.
Yeah.
And we don't want it below the collar. We don't want this, that, and the other. And believe me, I've worked for companies.
Mm-hmm.
I've worked for companies. My choice to work for them.
Sure.
But they didn't want your hair touching your collar.
Yeah, I've had that.
Yeah. So I worked there and I complied. I did what they asked. Let me tell you a story. I'll tell you a quick story.
Sure.
So back in 90, I think it was like 91, 92.
Right.
I was driving a truck for JB Hunt.
Okay.
And during that time, they were on the real growth spurt. So they were trying to attract a lot of drivers.
Okay.
And they were keying in on ex-military.
Sure. Okay.
So what they tried to do is they tried to have almost like a military look about their drivers. They didn't want their drivers to have long hair and scraggly beards and raggedy ass clothes.
Right.
So they had a policy that, your hair had to be, didn't touch your collar. When you came into the terminal, at least when you came into the terminal, they would like you to do it on the road, but it's hard to enforce it on the road. but they wanted you in uniform.
Right.
They provided some uniforms, so they wanted you to wear their uniform, and they wanted you to look, like almost military like.
Right. Okay.
Uniform, short hair, look buttoned down, dressed up,
Right.
for a truck driver.
Mm-hmm.
And that was their policy. And if you came into the terminal all shaggy and wasn't wearing your uniform and stuff, one of the policies is that they had the right not to dispatch you on another load.
Sure. You get docked.
Yeah, more or less. So I was on the road because I didn't really have any reason to not be on the road.
Okay.
So I was on the road for weeks and weeks at a time. I mean, there'd be times I'd be out on the road for months without a break. I would just travel the country end to end because
Right.
I had no other reason not to do anything else. I wasn't in a relationship. I really didn't have a home per se. I just stayed out on the road, made money.
Right. Sure.
And it was an adventure for me because I was still fairly young. I was in my late 20s, and I was just seeing the countryside.
Right.
Well, I remember I was down in San Ysidro, California, picking up a load that came across the border from Mexico.
Okay.
And I was at one of our drop yards over there picking up the trailer, and I was out there, back my truck in. I'm, rolling up the dolly legs on the trailer and getting ready to take off. Well, there was another JB Hunt driver who had pulled in there. I think he was a driver trainer or something. He was one of these button down types.
Sure. Okay.
That motherfucker called in and reported me the way that I looked.
Hello, dispatch. I'd like to report this driver, truck number.
Yep. That's
8423.
exactly what he did. That's exactly what he did, because the next day when I called into my dispatcher,
Yeah.
he goes, "Dude, how long is your hair?" I said, "What do you mean?" And he goes, "Well, we got a report that another driver saw you, blah, 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 and your hair is like long, and you weren't wearing a company uniform shirt, and you were blah, 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 blah." And I was just like, "Oh, you got to be fucking kidding me."
Yeah. That's a guy that needs a beating.
Yeah, I know. But believe me, you had the snitches out there who would, report you.
Just like now with the mask snitches. Same thing.
Yep. So anyway, the thing is that was the policy. I chose to work there, much like this story here. That's what the private school's policy is, and you chose to enroll your child there.
Should have got dreadlocks and then said, "Hey, you're violating my race or my race. It's my natural hair."
Exactly. Well, anyway, this month, the school secretary emailed the dress code policy to Christina Johnson.
Okay.
The code bans boys from wearing braids, design cuts, or mohawk hairstyles.
Okay.
Hair must be cut 1 inch short, the email states.
Okay.
Christina Johnson said school officials told her that her son's hair is unacceptable because of its length and style.
If that's the policy, and that's the policy, then I'm sure they signed agreeing to that policy right before they signed and wrote him a check to put the kid in the school.
Exactly. So see, she just blew her whole argument out of the water about it being a natural style, and now she's saying that, well, it's unacceptable because of its length and style.
Mm-hmm.
So she just defeated her whole argument.
Yeah. Oops.
Yep. Black people have long faced discrimination for how they wear their hair.
No, they haven't. Since when?
Well, since her kid is on the chopping block, that's since when.
I was gonna say, when have you ever heard about black people having problems with their hair?
Yeah.
Being described. Now, admittedly, some of these hairstyles are fucking bizarre.
Yeah. Well, I mean, between you and I, looking at you and looking at me, You and I can't get a job at certain places the way that
Absolutely
we
not.
look,
Absolutely not.
but my hair is natural and naturally grew out of my head.
Yeah, so's mine.
So, but I couldn't go get a job looking the way that I do.
I couldn't go get an education here at Zion School.
Mm-mm.
They'd tell me to beat it. They'd be like, "Beat it, fatso with the long hair. Get out of here."
Yeah, same here.
No,
I couldn't go to Zion and I'm not black.
no.
Would I be discriminated against if I said, can I enroll in your school?
Can I put it in dreads and then come?
Right.
Yeah, no. No, she's wrong. I mean, she's definitely wrong. I think the policy stinks, but she's wrong.
Well, regardless, it's their policy.
I get it.
And you can go there or you don't have to.
Yeah, I get it. I'm not saying that they should change the policy because I think it's wrong. I just like, in this day and age where everybody's worried about every fucking thing, this seems like they're inviting a problem.
Well, again, I have been involved in organizations that have those type of policies, which obviously I just told you one.
Right, sure.
And, that's just how it goes. Then don't work there. Don't go to school there.
I think the mom and dad should. I think the mom and dad should go downtown to this whatever city this is and throw a brick through a window.
Yeah, and then steal a Louis Vuitton purse while you're at it.
And an LG 60 larger.
Exactly.
Yeah, that'll show you. Reparation on your son's hair.
Exactly. In 2017, another Ohio teen was forced out of a Catholic high school in Toledo for his locks. Malachi Watley.
Malachi Watley.
Yeah, Malachi.
Mm-hmm.
Malachi Watley, just like Jody Watley.
White kid?
Apparently so.
Okay.
17 recently told the Cincinnati Enquirer that the school was not accepting. They say, come as you are, but I guess not, he said. This year, Texas high school student Andre Arnold was invited to the Oscars by Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade after facing a suspension for his dreadlocks.
Well,
yeah, well, let's just reward poor behavior, shall we?
Well, that seems to be D Wade's thing.
And in 2018, a referee forced New Jersey high school. See, now here we go. This is a state thing. Now this is this is where things go wrong. In 2018, a referee forced New Jersey high schooler wrestler Andrew Johnson to cut his locks before he could compete. The referee was later suspended for 2 seasons.
Well, that'll teach him. He's not allowed to referee high school wrestling.
Yes.
Jesus, what will he do without those $50 a week?
DeAndre Arnold, a Texas teen, was banned by the high school from attending graduation for refusing to cut his locks. Cincinnati was the second city of the nation to make it illegal to discriminate against people with quote unquote natural hair.
Okay.
Natural hair.
It's not natural hair.
Yeah.
Which is why they'll lose when they go to court.
Yeah, of course.
Because they'll say natural hair and they're going to be like, fuck you. That's not natural hair.
Yeah, you could cut that hair to a 1-inch length, just like the school said. Yeah, but he wants his dreads.
Yeah. Well, stop babying your child. How about you teach that kid that sometimes you got to do things you don't like?
Yeah. If you're going to be, you got to follow the rules. That's just how it goes.
Yeah. This is the rule. That's it. Deal with it.
Then don't go there.
Yeah. And stop trying to appropriate it as some kind of fucking racist thing, you dummy.
Because it's not.
It's not at all a racist thing.
Yeah.
There's nothing to do with black people's hair. It just has to do with you don't want to fucking tell your sweet little angel that he has to follow the rules.
And that's what it really boils down to.
Right. And I'm with them that the rule sucks. I'm with the kid. I'm with the parents. The rule does suck. But like you said, it's the fucking rule. So deal with it.
Yeah. Either you deal with it or you don't.
Yeah. Go to fucking public school.
Yeah. Stop trying to treat it like it's a racist issue.
Yeah. You want him to have his hair down to his ass? Send him to fucking public school. You won't even have to wear that tie and that shirt. He can wear a fucking Beyonce jersey or something.
City Councilman Wendell Young, no relation to me, said at the time that he wished he would live long enough that there was no need to pass a rule or a law, but we're not there yet.
What?
No need to pass a rule or a law about quote unquote discrimination. That's what he's trying to say.
There is no discrimination here.
But this just feeds into pandering. This is
there's a rule book that every fucking school has. The fucking parents at a private school, the parents signed off on it before they signed their check.
Yeah.
That was in the packet of fucking bullshit that you signed right before they took that $15,000 or $20,000 fucking check off your ass.
Right.
It was in the shit that you didn't read. That's your fault for not reading it, stupid.
Yeah.
Stop teaching your kid that he's an entitled douche, because he's not.
Yeah.
He's just another fucking kid in the school, and these are the rules, and he will follow them. That's it. Or send him to public school. There's no rules there. Wear whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah. Wear your pants around your ass like you normally do.
Yeah, grow your hair to your fucking ass. Nobody will say boo to him. Stupid.
Last summer, California and New York became the first states to pass similar laws.
Mm-hmm.
A campaign known as the Crown Act, an acronym for creating a respectful and open world for natural hair.
That's an act that we needed to create?
The
Crown Act?
The Crown Act.
All right.
It was created in 2019 and aims to create protections from discrimination based on race-based hairstyles.
Race-based hair. Thank God we have this act out there to protect us.
It's the Crown Act.
Crown Act.
Yes.
Wow.
Christina Johnson said Zion's Temple hair policy, with its reference to braids and designer hairstyles, is directed at black children.
Why? Are there white children with the dreadlocked hair that are not that are allowed to have that hair?
Well, it says designer styles. How about those kids who have, words carved into the side of their head?
All right. Well, it's not 1988 anymore, Neeley.
But it happens though, right?
I don't know that they're still doing that. Are they?
I don't know. I don't have kids.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I would think she would have more of a case if the kids are showing up with their hair colored, like pink or blue.
All right. Well, how about a mohawk where the tips are colored blue?
Well, they said no mohawks.
I know, but what I'm saying is would that not be a designer hairstyle?
That would be a designer hairstyle.
So if you're a white kid and you got a mohawk and you had the tips painted blue or dyed blue, is that directed at black children?
No.
So she's wrong.
She is wrong, of course.
See again, I'm trying to make this a racist thing.
Yeah, well, because race is the only way you win. When race outweighs stupidity 2-1.
Apparently so.
So if you turn it into a race thing when it's just a stupidity thing, you generally have a chance to win.
Yeah. So basically she's an idiot.
Well, yeah. I would think that just the fact that she has a news story about her kid that fucking has dreadlocks and she went to the news is that alone says she's a fool.
Yeah.
Dumb.
I just don't understand how you can be African-American facility. Is it a African-American facility or is it a school?
Whether it is an African-American facility or not, it's not. It's a school. It's for everybody.
Yeah.
Anybody that rifles off that check that says Zion on the fucking first line can be there.
Yeah. But see, she's making this, it's us against them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand how you can be an African-American facility that promotes, you're going to love this, drum roll please, kings and queens in the heart of a black community.
Oh, shut up.
And then you discriminate against the people who look like the community.
Just stop. What is this kid going to do when he's 18 years old and he gets to that job like you had? And they tell him flat out, cut your fucking hair or don't work here.
Oh, he'll throw a brick through the window.
Yeah, well, there is that option, I guess.
Can't oppress me.
Yeah.
My mom and dad taught me I was a king or a queen.
Yeah, Kang. Don't you see my crown in the back of my crown, Vic?
Yeah. I just don't understand how you can be an African American facility that promotes kings and queens in the heart of the Black community.
Who said that's what they're promoting?
They're promoting kings and queens.
Beats me. That's crazy.
Aston told the Inquirer he loved attending Zion Temple last year, particularly when he and his classmates planted an acorn tree and later watched squirrels congregate around it.
That's great. I'm glad the kid, look, nobody said the kid should fucking hate the school or does hate the school. And that's why nobody's saying he grew his hair to fucking protest the school. He's fucking 6.
Yeah.
Of course he fucking liked planting a tree and watching a squirrel run around. He's fucking 6.
Yeah.
You know, this isn't about the kid. It's about the parents being douchey.
That's right. This is about the dumbass parents.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with this kid. There's nothing even wrong with this kid wanting to have dreadlocks if his old man has dreadlocks. First of all, he's got his old man in his life. That's a positive in the Black community, so I hear. So there's one positive right there. And he wants to use his father as a role model. His father must make some pretty good coin to send him to a private school. His father, mother, whoever, or both, they make some decent coin to send him to private school.
And potentially his younger sibling.
Yeah, so they're doing pretty well. So good for him to want to look like his father and be like his father. Bravo for that. But dad's first thing, it should be, son, sometimes you got to do shit you don't want to do. I promise you the dad that's making a boatload of this money, I'm assuming, is following some sort of work rules himself. I'm sure he's not just showing up and saying, hey, give me some fucking money. I'm sure he follows a work code too, a code of ethics, a code of conduct. I'm sure he follows all that to get his coin. So teach that to your kid. Fucking A, dude.
Yeah.
God.
But when he was asked how he felt now that he couldn't return there, he raised his forearm to his eyes and held it there before muttering a single word. I feel sad.
That's 3 words.
Yeah, I know. I threw the I feel in there.
All right.
Christina Johnson is enrolling Aston into a public school district. The family plans to send Arison to
hold on. Wait, whoa. This is parent failure 101.
Mm-hmm.
So rather than cut your kid's fucking hair,
yes,
you would rather him get less of an education.
Yes.
You're a fucking terrible parent.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible parent. I guess you're standing up on your principles. I'll applaud that. But man, you're using your kid to stand up for your principles. You're not standing up for it yourself. That's pretty fucking lame.
I agree. Mm-hmm. So Christina Johnson is enrolling Aston in a public, and notice who's the focal point in this story.
Her.
It's the mother.
Yeah.
So from here on out, I'm going to refer to Christina Johnson as entitled cunt. Entitled cunt is enrolling Aston into a public district school.
Mm-hmm.
The family plans to send Arison to a babysitter, so his younger sibling will not get to go to school. He's going to go to a babysitter instead.
Well, that's good.
This new unexpected arrangement will extend Nate Johnson's commute by about 90 minutes per day.
Okay, who's Nate? The dad?
That's the dad.
Okay. Why?
Because the wife said so.
But why will it extend his...
Well, because he probably has to go pick up the kids and stuff now.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So he has to leave early to get the kid to the babysitter, that he has to go pick the kid up from the babysitter before he comes home.
Well, I mean, realistically, it costs about $25,000 to send a kid to private school.
Mm-hmm.
So times 2, that's $50,000. You gonna tell me with $50,000 you couldn't fucking get a permanent Uber service or something to get your kids back and forth?
Well, entitled cunt, she has to go get her nails and her hair did.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she's working. I'm just saying there's $50,000 extra laying around. that you were planning on spending, so spend it on a fucking Uber.
Well, we gotta use that extra money for cultivating dreadlocks.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Hair products.
Yeah.
Her products.
Hair products.
Our products.
It costs a lot of money to cultivate that natural hair,
They must.
just like a hair farmer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do whatever I need to do for my kids, he says. It's just unfortunate because of a hairstyle. Yeah, why don't you cut that hair off and it won't be an issue?
How about that? You're going to do what you have to do for your kid? Okay, tell your kid he's got to cut his hair. And then he can get a better education. This is the dumbest fucking shit ever.
I know. That's why I brought it to the table.
I'll fuck my kid's whole fucking future up because I don't want him to cut his hair.
Yeah.
If it was, see, and it's funny because I'm principal guy 101. I will absolutely quit my job or whatever over a principal. But that only affects me. This doesn't affect him in any way. Reggie, or what was his name? Reginald? Reggie?
His name is, what is this guy? Nate Johnson.
Nate. You know, this doesn't affect Nate in any real way. This doesn't affect the mom in any real way. The only one it affects is the kid.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll fuck his kid over to make his point.
Yeah.
And what? You think that suddenly the school's going to give a shit?
No.
Well, we don't want to lose Aston, so we better change our pot. Fuck you. That school's going to be like, fuck you. Let your kid be stupid. That's really what that's what this school's probably thinking. Fuck you. Keep your money. You're a problem. Don't want you here.
Yeah. You're gonna cause us an issue. So we'd rather lose the money than have an issue.
Yep, exactly. They don't care.
Mm-hmm.
They care less. Go ahead, leave. See ya. Sorry, Aston. Go plant an acorn with your fucking public school. This is oof. That's bad business to fuck your kid that way. Just cut his fucking hair.
I agree.
Just cut his fucking hair.
Believe me, if this was me at that age, and that's what my parents were faced with, my dad would have me in that barber chair with a pair of shears, giving me a buzz cut.
I will say my mom and dad would have fought this for a bit. They would have raised some hell about it. But in the end, I'm getting my fucking haircut.
Yeah.
You know, if I was going to private school and they said, oh, you got to cut your hair, my dad had been the first one up there saying, this is fucking bullshit, just like this mom did.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they whipped out the fucking thing and said, look, here's your choices. Cut his fucking hair. He's out. My dad would have been like, guess where we're going this afternoon, son?
Exactly.
You know, guess what? We're going to get some ice cream when we're done cutting your fucking hair.
Exactly.
That would have been the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is bad parenting.
Yep, I agree. Nate Johnson adds, even if Zion Temple removed its hair policy, I wouldn't want my son enrolled there any longer. You're supposed to be accepting.
No, you're not. You're supposed to accept the fucking rules that you signed off on.
Right.
You're supposed to be accepting. Not the school, you.
No, not me. You're supposed to make your rules around my desires.
You accepted a contract. If you didn't read it, that's your fucking fault, dumbbell.
No, you need to bend to me.
No, you don't.
Because we're kangs and quines.
Well, your little prince is going to fucking puppy school.
So there you are. That's what's going on in the world.
Unreal.
Yeah.
I feel bad for this kid. I really do feel bad for this kid.
Yeah. He's gonna fuck his opportunity to have a good education at a private school because of his mom wants him to have his dreadlocks.
Because of his fucking parents.
Yeah.
Yep. He's getting fucked over for his whole life because of his fucking parents.
Yeah.
That's fucked.
I agree.
Shitty. Well, I hope he does well anyway.
Good for him.
In spite of his fucked up parents, I hope Aston does okay. And I hope he grows his hair down to his ass.
Yeah, well, whatever. I mean, be in a position or a situation where you can do that and, have at it.
Well, he is now. He's in public school. He can look like Bob Marley for all that. All they're going to give a shit.
Yeah, I agree. But I mean, you remember when I moved here and I got
Yeah.
involved with my former brother-in-law in
Mhm.
business. I cut my hair.
Yeah, you had short hair.
I had short hair because it
Mhm.
was part of the requirement. He
Yeah.
wanted me to look very businesslike, so I complied.
Yeah.
I didn't necessarily want to, but I did.
Right. Hmm.
But
Dude,
it was my choice to come here and be a part of this.
right. When you met me and I was working at probably the phone company, I think.
Yeah, Broadcom or whatever.
Broadvox, yeah. Yeah, when I was working at Broadvox at the phone company, what was my hair? It was short.
Yeah,
How many times did you run into me and I was in a fucking collared shirt and black slacks? 'Cause that was the fucking uniform.
exactly.
That was the deal. Button up shirt, fucking pair of dress pants, pair of dress shoes. Now I don't even own any of that shit.
Well, but
But
the thing
that's
is,
now.
you're not required. And
Yeah.
obviously, what I'm doing now, it doesn't require me to have the business cut.
Yeah.
So I grew the hair back out.
But if your bosses all of a sudden said, "Hey, we need you to be professional again. We need you to be shirt and tie guy," you'd have a decision to make.
Of course.
You wouldn't just be like, "Hey, you're discriminating against me."
Well, but I'm a white guy though, so you can't be discriminated against.
Yeah. But you would either make a decision to fucking cut your hair or quit your job.
That's basically it. That's what it would boil down to.
I don't think you'd be going to the press. "Hey, this company said I got to cut my hair to sell containers. I feel discriminated against."
Yeah, run a feature piece on me.
Yeah, pal. I'm going to Facebook and I'm going to tell them a thing or two.
Make sure you highlight the fact that I'm being oppressed by the man.
And by the way, I'm 2.1% Cherokee Indian, by the way.
Exactly.
So they're oppressing the red man.
Exactly. You're keeping me down, pal.
Yeah.
Yeah, look how I'm being oppressed.
Yeah, they're fucking me over.
Yeah.
My heritage.
I got longer hair. They're oppressing me.
It's part of my heritage and they want me to cut it.
Yeah.
Shut up, idiots.
So anyway, that's our future generations.
Fantastic.
Yeah, thank you, you fucked up parents. I'm gonna drive to Cincinnati just to find those two and beat their asses. How about that?
All right, let's not say that because if somebody does, they'll come looking for you.
True. I allegedly was gonna drive to Cincinnati.
There you go. I changed my mind.
Right. I decided you didn't need an ass whooping. I think that the ass whooping your retarded child will give you will be enough punishment.
No, I don't think this kid's retarded. He was.
No, I'm just saying retarded from the fact that he's not gonna get the education
Yeah.
he could have gotten.
Right. Well, that is true. He is. Unreal.
Yeah. You suck, parents.
Yep, they do. What
Yeah.
a bad collection of parents these two are.
Yeah. Yeah. Eat a bag of dreadlocks.
Woven into the shape of a dick.
Exactly. All right. All right. I say we take a short break.
All right.
We'll come back. We'll do some more. So, what would you like to hear?
Well, after that story, I've had enough. So how about Sebastian Bach had enough?
Had enough. All
Yep.
right. All right. Well, we're going to play some Sebastian. We're going to come back and we're going to sniff some pussy.
Yeah, there we go. Perfect.
So, if you're into sniffing vag, you'll want to stay tuned for the next segment right here on the CMS Radio Network. So here is it's Sebastian Bach with Had Enough exclusively here
On your classic.